Yay! Woo! Play the Saudi national anthem. Yeah, me and Nav were talking about this before we went live. I have a lot of problems with the Saudi thing, and I want to get in front of this before anything comes up. This isn't rooted in Islamophobia. I myself am a practicing Muslim. Nav is like the least Islamophobic person I've met. Uh,
Even
yeah,
comparison to other Muslims.
compared to me. Um, but yeah, the Saudi shows are it's a key example of sports washing. Um, Very quickly, Saudi Arabia is using sports as a way to kind of make itself more palatable to Western audiences and to just the West in general. They're doing this through boxing, through wrestling, the whole Riyadh season thing, the UFC. They're doing this through soccer. They bought Newcastle United, one of the biggest clubs in England, and like it works so well that you have people in Newcastle like chanting the names of like the Saudi guy like Mohammed bin Salman. And if you criticize Saudi Arabia in parts of Newcastle, like you're gonna have a big burly man coming for you. It works. Sports washing works, and it's just like the continued going back to Saudi Arabia is annoying, and it's like it's so undignified towards probably some of the wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a probably. We know, right?
Yeah.
Because wrestlers have taken issue, whether
Hmm.
that's Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. There's probably others as well that I just can't
Hmm.
think of at the time. But there's clearly people who take issue with this, and there are plenty of fans who do take issue with it as well,
Hmm.
especially because when it, I think it was the first year that they were
Yeah.
doing a Saudi show, and there was a huge international incident
Yeah.
that had occurred. So from the start, I mean, obviously with the long history of Saudi Arabia, it's
Yeah.
already been there, but like from the start of their relationship, it's been
Yeah.
bad, for them, and they continue to persist and pursue
Hmm.
these shows.
The worst thing is it's so like transparently about money for
Hmm.
WWE. Like I don't remember how much Saudi pays now, but I remember when they were first doing the shows, the money Saudi Arabia was giving WWE was more than all of the money they made throughout the year. It was like 60 to 600, I can't remember. It was a massive amount of money for the shows. And so they were like, yeah, we'll do the Saudi shows. It's the reason why they were like greater than or equal to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a Rumble
Yeah,
in
they're doing the
Saudi
Rumble there.
Arabia next year.
I like within the decade, I won't be surprised if they do a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah.
Um,
So
the
the initial number, by the way, is I think 500 million. Yeah, a 10-year deal gives WWE a whopping 500 million in revenue.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
And that's not including like it's probably not including stuff like the WWE experience they have out there,
sure.
and like the additional sponsorship stuff for like the Riyadh season. It's nuts. It's genuinely like it's so blatant. And I know WWE do this. Like, I mean, that's why WrestleMania's no, SummerSlam is in Vegas. Something's in Vegas next year. It might be WrestleMania again.
I think it's Mania, yeah.
Yeah, and it's because Vegas were like, here's loads of zeros on this paycheck. But at least Vegas is in the US, I guess. But
Yeah. It's just, and it's always been this way, right?
hmm
But it's the fact that the company has grown so much exponentially since Vince left and
hmm
since the TKO deal and everything that it's become so much more in our faces of these money-driven decisions
Mm,
versus creative and talent-related
yeah,
decisions, and like the fact that they're making a whole story, or at least part of a storyline
yeah,
with CM Punk and John Cena being that CM Punk is going back on his word. Like,
yeah,
it's stupid.
yeah,
It's also stupid that he's going back on his word, and I'm saying that as
yeah.
like one of the biggest CM Punk fans
Hmm.
to exist. But I mean, Sami Zayn's done the same thing too,
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
and we don't know obviously the inner, like the specifics of those decisions and
Hmm.
everything like that, but um, it is frustrating when someone's so vocally against a decision, but then automatically uh concedes.
Exactly. Like, I think maybe Kevin Owens is the only person I can think of who's consistently not gone to Saudi. I'm not 100% sure on that. Like
I don't know.
Cena for a long time wouldn't go, but I think that's because he was more concerned about like the Hollywood ramifications. And
Right,
it was like before Saudi Arabia was like, yo, let's just pump out the propaganda, let's get messy in the adverts, let's get, all this sort of stuff. So it is disappointing seeing some of the wrestlers going. Like Sami Zayn, I love him. I do find it a bit disappointing. I know for him, it was like I don't and because they did the whole documentary of him going to Saudi Arabia. I never watched it, but like it felt kind of icky. They were
sure.
like, Sammy, you can go, and I know part of it was Syrian and Saudi relations were the reason he couldn't go, but
Right.
also it was and he was like, I got to go on like Umrah, which is like a mini version of the pilgrimage,
Mm,
and I was like, that part of it, I'm like, okay, that's awesome. He got to be in front of an Arab crowd, yeah, that's sick. But
sure.
also, it's like I know you are so politically vocal, and Saudi Arabia's politics is like the antithesis of so many things Sami Zayn represents. Like you said, a similar thing with CM Punk. Like CM Punk is extremely vocal about issues that I care about as well. But like Saudi's the antithesis of this. And I get the United States, you can't help because you physically work for a US company.
Right.
So y- given the Trump administration's, views on many things, I can't say to CM Punk stop working in the US. Well, he's from the US. He can't do that.
Right.
But like I don't know if their policy is still if you don't want to go to Saudi, you don't need to. But if it is, don't go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because I don't watch the Saudi shows, so that's
Yeah,
why
I
I
don't.
wasn't sure, but it does appear that Zayn did go. Sorry,
Yeah.
not Zayn,
Oh,
Owens. I knew
Owens.
Zayn went. Owens, they apparently defended the tag titles against
Yeah.
Roman and Solo.
Yeah, that
Um,
that rings a bell.
yeah, Cena did refuse the first year,
Mm-hmm.
because of the
Khashoggi stuff.
assassination. Yeah, because of the assassination issue, but clearly
Yeah.
that's irrelevant now for Big Money John,
Yeah.
no longer
Uh,
Big Match John.
Also, I think the women's thing is like another big one, and it it's like what like the attire aside, the attire I don't care really about. Um, it is kind of like again, I'm not Saudi. I have my own political views on Saudi Arabia as well, but I'm like clearly like the way they pitch it is like, look how progressive Saudi Arabia is. They let women in
Right.
here, and I'm like, this is so blatantly propaganda.
Yeah.
It's like it. Sorry, I could just go on for ages, but it's just so blatantly just pro-Saudi propaganda in the build up to the 20 Saudi 2030 whatever
Oh yeah. I mean,
thing.
that first match that they made a whole big deal of like, oh,
Mm,
the first time two women get to
yeah,
perform or something. I don't remember the exact stat that they were mentioning or
yeah,
whatever, but it was just like you're making it sound like this is a thing to be proud of.
yeah. Ugh. Like, and like to get even like just Saudi Arabia hasn't. Look, I don't want to get too deep into the nuance because I could spend forever talking about it. But like, as a Muslim, the the brand of Islam that Saudi Arabia promotes is a very, very strict,
Mm,
a very almost backwards brand of Islam. And in my opinion, I'm not a scholar. I'm not gonna,
sure.
come here and act like I'm the final word in anything. But they have also actively tried to spread that to parts of the world to ensure their own political dominance through it.
Mm,
And so they are spreading this very backwards message to other parts of the world, and WWE are helping to normalize that. And so even though, to American audiences, it's like, oh wow, Saudi Arabia is so progressive, so going forward, Saudi Arabia does the exact opposite to like the Islamic world. And
mm.
then they're in Saudi Arabia, like just being hypocrites to either side.